Well, hello and welcome to WAM Wednesday for June 30th, 2021. That means this is our last WAM, our last accountability for June. So hopefully it's going to be a good one for you. And you got everything done and you got your key actions up. And we'll go over that in just a little bit. And then we're going to hop into developing the confidence to go after your dreams, part 4. It looks like this is going to be a 6, maybe a 7-parter, but I think probably a 6. I do these things live. I never have really broken them up into little bite-sized pieces, but I want to do it bite-sized piece for you this time. So we just take a little bit and get that perfected and then go on to the next. But we're going to take this down for right now, and we are going to pop up our accountability meeting for today, and I'm gonna take away the WAM thing here for you. I'm gonna hide that. I'm gonna get out of the way, and we're gonna go over our weekly accountability meeting first, and I'll be back in just a little bit with part 4 of developing the confidence to go after your dreams. All right, here we go. Let's talk about the percentage of key actions that you executed last week. Again, this is just a percentage. When you go through your planner, and hopefully you're using the Phoenix planner. If you're not, whatever planner you're using, hopefully you're having key actions every day that you're doing. And simply what you want to do is go back and look at your last week and take the key actions that you were supposed to do or plan to do, and then the ones that you actually did, and let's get that percentage, because this is really the only way that we can coach you and help you as we go forward, as we look at our results and look at our key actions and decide, do we need, what do we need to do? What do we need to pick up that percentage? Is that percentage okay? If the percentage is high and we're still not getting there, then maybe we need to look at the key actions. So there's a lot of different ways that we can utilize this percentage. But again, success really in this area is just math. We want to look at our percentages and see where we are and see how we can change and modify those to make it work for you. Then we're going to look at what victories from the past week you're most proud of. Hopefully those victories line up with the key actions that you completed. Maybe not. I'm not. A couple of weeks ago, my key victories were just spending more time with family, and of course that really wasn't a key action, but it was one of the things I wanted to do that week. So we just spent some time with the grandgirls and had a good time. But what the victories from the past week are you most proud of? Maybe it's a date night. I mean, maybe, hey, man, that really went well, right? So maybe that's a good victory for you. All right, well, what do I most need to improve upon? Let's get that scribbled in there somewhere. And again, every time that we look at these, we say, yeah, we had a great week, had some good things going on, but there's always usually room for improvement. Perfection's kind of hard to get, but we always want to do the best that we can do and be the best that we can be. I'm reading a book on leadership with by Coach, John Wooden. And I loved his definition of success. He says, success is peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to become the best which you are capable. So that's what we always want to do every week, is be the best that we are capable. And that's why we do this on Wednesdays, to make sure that we're just staying on top of things. Then let's look at what am I most grateful for. Gratitude should be the first part of your day every day. So be sure you get those written down somewhere in your journal. Again, if you don't have this sheet, you can reach out to me. I can give you a PDF of it so you can kind of insert it into your planner each week. But it's from the Phoenix Journal, which we use here at A to B for me, and I really suggest that you get one of those. But if you don't have one, let's get you this sheet, and then you can just insert it into your planner each week. But let's get those gratitudes down. That keeps us from having pity parties. We realize that we do have some great things going on in our life, and we won't get down on ourselves and won't allow our subconscious to take advantage of us there. Now, what will I do to live the next week to the fullest? Again, this is where you just put down what you want to do. Again, relationships and recreation kind of went together last month, last week for me, because I got to spend some time with, like I said, with the grandgirls down in Texas. Personal and health, I don't know if that went real well. I got beat up pretty well by them, and ate some nasty food, but we had a good time. That's all that mattered last week. I'm paying the price this week, try to get back in my programs. But look at your 4 areas. We're going to try and just keep you as well balanced as we can between relationships, recreation, personal and health, and work. So try and stay balanced if you can every week. That just helps everybody in the long run that's in your life, and helps you with your life, because you don't feel like you're too neglectful of the different areas that you need to be. It's hard to keep these balanced, but you can give it a shot. Just do the best you can do. And again, you can cross a lot of these over, so that you're getting some check marks in each one of them. But get that in; it's real important for you. And then look at your goals. So for next week, I've always got this on here. It says week 2 because that's just the week that I copied it out of the planner. But whatever week it is, just put your dates up there and put your goals for the week. 4 goals are a lot. I realize that, but some of you have a lot of different things going on and you want a lot of different goals. But usually you got 1 or 2 big major goals. And I changed in my planner now. I've got a section called Done by One. Which is basically I try and get all my big hairy goals for each every day, my major project done by one. So I've got a whole list of done by ones now, and that's been working out for me. That way I've got the afternoon to look at different projects and different things that I may want to do, but I know that I got what I need to get done taken care of. And goal 1, goal 2, and then put your key actions in there of what it needs to be. Again, you want these goals to be specific, actionable, and measurable. That's really the only way that we can work these things and make sure that and help advise you and work with you on them. So be sure that they are specific, actionable, or measurable, or they're not goals. They're just hopes. They're just dreams. So be sure we got goals in here. And then what are you looking forward to the most this week? And then if you could accomplish this one thing, what would it be? So get those things in there and look at this every single day when you're pulling out this is your sheet for every day. When you're looking at your daily plan and every evening, what do you want to do tomorrow? Be sure that you're taking care of your 4 goals if you got 4. And then what do you want to look forward most to, and what do you want to accomplish? And then your action and habit planner. You want to be sure that you get this in here. For me coming back, now I had to put back on there, be sure you get your AM workouts done. Your PM workouts done. Be sure you get your NPO. You stop eating by 8 p.m. I'm going to do a 12-hour fast every day, so I don't try not to eat before 8 in the morning, and I don't eat after 8 in the evening. So I've got to get that back on the train here. Every time you go on vacation, some people are really good at vacations or time off. I don't really have vacations. I kind of just have time away from the office, but some people are good at maintaining their stuff, but I have never been. When I'm out with other folks and not here, I'm having fun. So I just kind of let loose and don't really look at the clock. But put your action and habit in there that you want to change this week, and put an aim in there. How many times you want to do it, and then give you a check mark for every day you did it. And then at the end of the week, if you hit your aim, then give you a check mark on the right, and that can be one of the things that where your successes for last week. All right, well, that's it for our key actions and all of our good WAM stuff for today. So now we're going to get on with today's program. Let me get this out of here, take that down, and there we are. Hey, how y'all doing? It's one of my favorite pictures we talked about before when we were over in Paris. That's really when I'm having a great time. Not that I don't have a great time with you here today, but that's just where that picture's from. And we're going to be going over developing the confidence to go after your dreams, part 4. And these are some of my success principles for reaching and going after your dreams. And if you want to schedule a one-on-one strategy session with me anytime, just go up to a2bforme.info/15 with Don, and we can schedule a 15-minute session with you and help you get going. Once you do that, you'll see there are 4 questions there that I want you to ponder and be ready for when we have our 50-minute session, so we can make it very efficient and beneficial for both of us. Well, all right, well, let's get on with it here. I know I've got a quote in here somewhere. Yeah, from Napoleon Hill. Now, some of you have heard me quote, and a lot of people quote the first part of this: whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve, but rarely do you hear the rest of it. He goes on to say, regardless of how many times you may have failed in the past or how lofty your aims and hopes may be. And that's critical to have the last half of that quote into your subconscious, because you want to know that whatever you can conceive and believe you can achieve, but you also want the subconscious to know, regardless of how many times we fail or have failed, and how lofty our aims and hopes may be. So you want to be sure that you get that entire quote in there by Napoleon Hill. And of course, that's from Think and Grow Rich. So if you haven't read that in a while, go back and catch it again. I was cleaning out the garage, found an old copy that I had in there, so I got a new old copy on my bookshelf right now. All right. Well, we're going to go over section 4 here, discover motivation. Because your confidence is intimately connected and affected by your level of motivation in life. And we've talked a lot about motivation, and we know what that is, and so many times it is temporary, and we're going to get into that a little bit more today, how to make it not quite so temporary. Therefore, it's up to you to discover your own motivation to pursue the life that you desire. And when you do, your confidence is going to grow. And again, that's the whole purpose of this series, is to develop the confidence to go after your dreams. And as you see confidence, motivation, and achievement of your life dream work together in two ways here. One is being motivated to go after the life you want brings about confidence. When you're up, you're ready, and you're rolling, you're making it happen, you're excited, you got your miracle morning going, and you got all your dreams, and you got your affirmations going, you're motivated to go after it, it's going to bring about some confidence. And then, because you did that, having the confidence motivates you to seek out your desired path. So they really work on each other, right? Motivation helps confidence, and confidence helps motivation. So try these techniques to discover what motivates you, because sometimes when we go through our life and we get to rolling, and especially if you get to your new 12-week period, you're like, man, what is motivating me now? Maybe you got beat up a little bit, so sometimes you got to go back and look at this. But let's look at, first of all, you got to read. We have never talked about reading before here at A to B for me, but you got to read, and you want to read at least one self-help book a month. And I don't want to beat you up on it's got to be every month, but you want to be in one every month and every day. And again, just 10 pages a day. If you read 10 pages a day, that's 300 pages a month, and that'll get you through most books out there today, because most books are in our world, in our self-help world, are less than 300 pages, or not too much more. But reading and expanding your repertoire of the knowledge is important in your pursuit of confidence. So it's really important to stay in these, look at different perspectives from different people. I've been reading, like I said, John Wooden on leadership, really getting some really cool perspectives. But you'll also see how they dovetail into other people's lives. And you can see some congruency there. Oh, wow, they did this over there. So, this must work, right? But reading one self-help book each month will serve as a great motivation for you to pursue whatever you're seeking in life, because you're going to see that these folks had the same trials and tribulations that you had or having, and it'll give you some motivation and some confidence. But your path to self-development will enrich and fulfill you if you read a self-help book each month. So stay in them. And again, here it's read, learn, implement. So what we suggest is for the core 3 that we have, which are compound effect, miracle morning, and atomic habits. Let's go ahead and do a deep dive into those. And if you have one that you personally want to do a deep dive into, reach out to us here at A to B for me, and I'll probably set that up for you. We can help you out with a deep dive into it, because it really does no good just to read them. You want to learn them. And once you learn them, you want to implement what you're taking in there. All right. Well, how about read more? Number 2, you got to read other books that inspire you. You just want to stay in just some, beat yourself up on self-help all the time, but taking some new information that stokes your fires of creativity, imagination, and motivation. So there might be something else you want to read out there that's exciting for you. There's some self-help. There's just some inspirational stories out there. But exposing yourself to any new information that interests, fascinates, or excites you is going to aid you in your plan to build confidence and go after your dream life. One of the things I look at all the time is, I kind of tie things into my dreams. I love travel. It's one of our Jan and I's big deals, and so I read a lot of travel stuff, and that really gets me stoked and gets me fired up. It has nothing to do with self-help, right? So, but you get out there, and I just love reading. I just bought 4 new books. We do a lot of Rick Steve stuff because he really does a good job on it. And just grab some of his books. We grabbed some Amsterdam, Belgium, and looking to go to Greece and those types of things. And so it gets you excited to go after that dream life. So read some other books that are going to get you excited. Maybe read some car books if you like cars or boats or airplanes or whatever it is. Get out there and figure out what it is and just read more. You just can't read too much, folks. You can Netflix too much, but you can't read too much. All right, let's try this one. interview someone who you see as successful. Now, we talked about this a few weeks back. But you want to interview someone who you see as successful. It could be someone you look up to, hopefully. They could be from the field you hope to work in someday, or it might be someone who works in your current field whom you view as striving for excellence. So maybe it's just someone in the workplace or a contemporary out there. But just call them up and say, man, I've been watching you. I've been following you, and I really just, if I could just get a few minutes, would you have time for some coffee or something to do an interview, and let me just chat with you. You don't necessarily call it an interview, you can just call it a chat, right? But before the interview, you want to ponder what you want to know about the person's success. So you want to think about that. Be prepared. What do you want to know? We talked about being prepared last week. So you want to be prepared for this. And so you want to write down those questions so that you will be prepared. You want to get in there and you've asked for someone's time. You've obviously stated that they're successful, they're striving for excellence, and a person you look up to, so you certainly don't want to waste their time. So be sure that you're concise and get those questions written down. You could ask a person to meet you, just for coffee or lunch, or come to your home some evening for dessert. However you feel it would work best to meet these folks. You could even do it on a Zoom. I mean, whatever. But however it is you want to get to them, just be prepared for some different options there, and let the individual know in advance the reason for your meeting. In other words, just tell them, hey, why? Say, hey, I'd like to talk to you. Well, okay. Well, why? So be sure you're ready, even when you go for the ask, that you've got all your ducks in a row. But you might mention you want to ask him or her about their work habits, about their career development. Those types of things. Some of them, if you're direct, peers in the same field, they may not want to divulge all their secrets to you, but most of them are very, very proud to tell you what's working and what's not. And they really, shouldn't be afraid of that, because if you're successful, you want to share the things that are making you successful to help other people. So I wouldn't think that they'd really mind you asking some deep questions, but all they can do is say no, right? You can ask. But because your goal is to learn more about motivation, ensure you include some questions about how the person has remained motivated throughout their career. Very, very important question. You want to ask them, what keeps you going? What keeps you focused? What keeps you, when you have a bad day and you're beat up, how do you respond to get out of that? Because we always talked about, E plus R equals O. The event's going to happen, the outcome's going to happen, but it's how you respond that changes the outcome to be positive or negative. So we want to find out what they do as a response to take that potentially negative outcome and make it positive. So interview someone who you see as successful. Number 4, talk with your parents and grandparents. A lot of people are like, well, I don't know. Well, yeah, they've been around. I mean, I've always said when my kids turned 25, I got a whole lot smarter because they realized they've been out there beating their head against the wall. The crap ain't working. So let me go talk to Dad a little bit and see what they've been doing. But talk with your parents or your grandparents and find out. I mean, they've been around, right? Ask them to share how they were successful in their roles as parents or co-workers. Whatever you're looking for. If you're new parents, you want to find out. A lot of times when you were in the heat of battle, maybe you don't. You got the education by parents telling you what to do, but you really didn't know the motivation behind the education. So maybe you want to talk to them and get back there and figure out what they did right and what they did wrong. I know a lot of times folks, the younger generation, just dismiss the older generation. They know what the hell they're talking about. I'm going to do it different. I'm going to do it better. And then you end up, as you get older, you realize that it wasn't such a bad idea in the first place, right? So look at all the perspectives. Only a dummy is gonna knock out everybody's perspective. You want to hear what they did, and then you've got more knowledge, and you can choose from and make your own decisions. But keep in mind that your plan is to discover what motivates others. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about motivation in this section. So what motivates them? How did you keep going forward when things got tough? right? And, back when the stock market fell and all that kind of garbage happened, how'd you get through that? I wasn't around during that, or a lot of people talk about the depression and all these types of things, but they're all cyclical things in life. But or maybe they got cancer, or you lost an uncle, they lost a brother or something. How did you move forward during that? What got you through the rough spots? Like you said, when they tell you what they were, just how'd you get through them? But make it a good chat, and you'll get some bonding there as well, and you'll knock off, as we talked about in our weekly accountability, one of those relationship things, right? You're rebonding with your parents and grandparents. So reach out to them. Don't ever discount the folks that are in your life and the experiences that they've had. All right, number 5, hang out with people who are positive. Here we go again, right? That thing that happens when you hang out with positive people. What is that thing, right? Well, when you have a chance to be up close and personal with positive and successful people, you learn about how others remain positive through trying times and what they do to stay motivated in the most difficult situations. So if you just hang out with these folks, you're going to find out. And so you can even do your little mini interviews. Plus, you're going to be encouraged to be positive and move forward in your own life. And ultimately, you'll be motivated to pursue the very life you've always wanted, because you're around those positive people. Again, like what we always talked about, you may have to get rid of some of the stinking thinking folks in your life. You just have to make that decision. And you just got to change that circle of friends around you, the folks you hang out with, and be sure you're hanging out with the positive folks to keep you moving forward. All right, write down in simple steps what you must do. Very, very important that we write these things down. That's why we have journals. That's why we have planners. Because it's time to get a tangible picture of your life now and the steps to follow from this point forward to achieve your dreams. So if you've been just sitting out there without a plan, it's just been whimsical, and you just really don't know what in the heck's going on, it's time to get that picture. We've had the 5 days of you out there. We're happy to help you with that, to help you get that life purpose and get your why and get all set. And we can worry about getting the how and get your goals going. But you got to get a tangible picture of where you are right now, and then what steps you're going to have to get where you want to be. That's what it's all about, right? A to B for me. We want to know what that 2 is. Where are we going? But what is the first baby step that you can take to be 1 inch closer to what you want? So let's start out always with baby steps. Let's just take it easy. Let's get there. It's a marathon. It's not a race. If it's a race, then you've waited too long or something. But let's get started, and let's get this marathon rolling. Let's just take those baby steps and get rolling. But we got to know what they are. And having a checklist to check these off as you succeed, and completing each step is incredibly motivating. Like every week, again, we got our key actions. We get to check those things off. It's motivating when you start checking those things off every single day. When you go back and look at your planner at the end of the day and you say, wow, I was going to do this and I did that. It's super motivating. And if you do that enough times, you're exactly where you want. And your list is going to boost your confidence, and it's just going to keep you moving forward. So if you don't have a planner, let's get you a planner, my goodness gracious. But we got to start writing these things down and be sure that we know exactly what our plan is going forward. And then 7, a little bit further down into this, you got to set mini goals and timelines about how you achieve each step. Now on the right there, we've got an example of a stretch goal. Stretch goals are a little bit scary. They're outside your comfort zone, and they're really a month or 2 or more out there, right? So these are your big goals. Well, how do you do them? Well, first you got to start with goal number 1. It's the first part of this marathon, right? So you got a couple of step goals in there that you got to get, and once you get to that goal number one handled, take a little break, have a little mini celebration, and then go on to the second step of it and go through those mini goals and those step goals, and then have yourself a little celebration when you get there. And then goal number three is keep on rolling, right? And then you'll finally get to that big celebration, that big stretch goal. And that's why we have, do the 12-week year, because hopefully you've got some big stretch goal out there, 12 weeks or so, and you can finish and you can have a big celebration at the end of those 12 weeks. Well, for example, each month you could plan to pursue and complete just one step on your list. You've got the list of things you need, and you got these different steps, these different mini goals, your key actions. That's why every week we have goal 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Different areas. And then be sure and celebrate each success as you go through. And it's gonna help you stay focused and motivated. It's gonna build your confidence, and then you're gonna be excited about moving closer to your desired life, because you've got all these things out there working for you. You see them right in front of you. You're watching them being checked off, and it's very, very exciting. And don't neglect the action and habit tracker, because those habits are really what's going to get you there. So be sure you get those in line and get them correct. Now, some steps may take you longer than a month to achieve, like maybe taking a 6-week course, right, or completing that college class you need. Now, we got 6-week courses, right? You can find them out there. We got Deep Dive to Destiny also. We got 84 days, which is huge, which is really what you should be in. But take a look at the different courses out there that you may need to be in to help modify and help you change and get where you need to go. All change is not good. Remember that, but you want to go for some good change. But the idea here is to use your list to stay motivated, increase your confidence, and that'll help you reach your life goals. But you just got to do it in step goals and mini goals and get this thing rolling for yourself. If you need help with that, just reach out to us and we can take care of that for you. All right, well, let's do a little summary here. Discovering your motivation will increase your confidence tenfold. It just will. I mean, once you get that big mo going in your direction and you keep it going, it's amazing how easy things get. Knowing that you're moving forward is a wonderful feeling. So let's talk about what we need to do. We need to read, right? Reading, interviewing a successful person, and talking with close family members about how they stayed motivated is going to shed light on how you can focus on being motivated. So be sure and go back and do those things. In addition, hanging out with positive people. We've talked about this numerous times, but the more different times we can talk about it, the more it'll sink in, right? Writing out the steps you can take to work toward achieving your dreams, and using that list to move forward is going to serve you to keep the fires of motivation bright, because you're going to see progress. You're going to see what's happening every week. You're going to see the big wins, and you're just going to get so excited to get up in the morning and get rolling again. And then when they burn your confidence, it's going to stay ignited. You don't have to worry about when big mo's in your corner. You don't have to worry about that fire going out. That fire's going to keep burning. But whatever you're working toward, you can achieve it. There's no doubt about it. If you just get in here, take these steps, keep it rolling for you. And you are going to get to your goals. All right, well, that is it for part 4. We're up to part 5 here on Finish Strong Friday. So come back to us on Friday. We'll go through part 5, which I think is something about expecting success. So we're going to talk about the era of expectancy. But again, if you need any help with this, to schedule a one-on-one strategy session, just go to a2bfromme.info/15 with Don, and I'm happy to sit down with you and go over that right with you anytime that you can find in the calendar there. We'll see if we can get it going. All right, well, let's come back in here and say goodbye to you. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. Be back tomorrow for Thrive Thursday. We've got that at noon. Got another good one from James Clear for you tomorrow. And then Friday is Finish Strong Friday. Tomorrow is July. So, hey, let's get ready for a huge month. And again, the last half of our year, if you're working on that type of calendar. But let's get in here and let's get ready for some Thrive Thursday tomorrow so we can get things rolling for you. All right. Well, until then, keep